Hello, my name is Angela Dawkins, and I'm doing my speech on facial expressions. Facial expressions to me are basically the structured bones in your face that react to certain things in certain ways. I can be happy, so I'll be smiling. I can be angry, so I'll be looking angry. I could be worried, and I'll be looking worried. But in this case, from my research, I did it on Paul Ekman. In 1954, he started this study of people. He basically studied people who told them how they feel, but in reality, that's not how they felt. And he determined this by observing them. And in reality, they said they were happy, they were good in life, but they were actually depressed, sad, wanting to die, wanting to commit suicide. And he continued this research until 2018. And he came up with so many ways to determine how someone could really feel, even though just by looking at them, you may take on something else. But looks are very deceiving. For example, I could be happy, but I could be looking so mean. But someone can say something to me, and I would smile, and I'll be the happiest person ever. Or I could be smiling and really dying on the inside. Facial expressions, you never know. It might be the reality, and it might not. Your face can tell a story, your voice can tell a story, and on the inside, you can tell a story. You can sense people, but do we really know the reality? So, a question from our thing was, what did I like about this study? I liked about this study is it fulfilled my curiosity. Because it was some things I was like, is this really, is this it? Is this the reality of our lives, pretending, hiding behind something? Are we really happy? Are we really sad? Are we really angry? But then again, it's all about, it starts on how we come up. Our different backgrounds, our different environments, the people we hang around, and the people we may be involved with. It can all determine that. So, I could be around a lot of cheerful, happy people. But my reality is, that's not me. But just because I'm surrounded by those people, that's what I will deceive. So that's what really caught my attention about Paul Ekman. And he continued his research for years. Just like he did a study on the people who said they were happy. In reality, they weren't. They were depressed. And it's called micro facial expressions. This is something he came up with to determine that what they were saying wasn't true. And this could be a study at TCC. We can do a survey where we can study certain people for about 2 weeks, every single day, take on their facial expressions or jot down what we see, what we observe. And at the end of those 2 weeks, we can see if that was a temporary issue, or is that really that person's fate, or what they're dealing with, if it's short term or long term. Because I've known someone, this person, she was always so quiet, closed in, and we thought she was a sad person, but in reality, she would tell us that her vibe just didn't match with the flow of everyone around her. So she gave off the facial expression to let people know, do not bother me. I don't want to be bothered. And future studies can be a reoccurrence, maybe every few years, where we can go back to that person. For example, if you frown a lot, you're going to get wrinkles in your forehead. There may not be a full change to your face, but it will be something to show that this is how this person was always. If you're smiling, I was smiling a lot when I grew up, and I end up getting commas, these little things right here. But then again, that could be genetics. It just all depends. That's why a reoccurrence trial is beneficial. And this can be a study at TCC. It can be very good for us. Good for, like I said, closed in people. It just all depends on who we interact with, how we carry ourselves. Because like I said, looks can be very deceiving. Like right now, you wouldn't believe, like, I just got done throwing my guts up and crying. Because my facial expressions, my attitude is giving something else. And that was a great example of a deceiving facial expression. Sometimes facial expressions are real, sometimes they're not. And I think that is a weakness of us observing. So yeah, facial expressions, it's really a good study. It's good to analyze, good to look into, because you want to learn the people who you're around.